Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. On the 24th of October 2024, the defense filed their reply to state's objection to expert testimony from Eliza P. Cover. And this filing states that the state's objection to Professor Cover's testimony is that it provides legal analysis and that it relies on what it believes is unreliable empirical evidence. As to the latter, this is the second argument here, unreliable empirical evidence. The defense then states that as to the latter, generally, and we then have to go to page 2, a court is capable of deciding what weight to give evidence and determine what the foundation is, not the state. Citing to State versus Barber. This is an Idaho appellate court ruling, citing to Federal Practice and Procedure Journal by Wright and Gold. Next, the defense says the state's other objection is puzzling. The state cites to decisions related to providing legal opinions from non-lawyers to judges, and quotes the part of it relating to provide legal opinions to juries. This is what the opinion actually says, and they cite to the opinion and claim that here the state has provided an inappropriate reading of the opinion. This is Ybarra versus Bedke. It's an Idaho case from 2020. Next, the defense says that assuming the prosecutor read this, it is hard to understand how they believed it supports its argument. Professor Cover is a law professor. If this court can rely on her legal writing, it ought to be capable of considering her testimony. And this is signed by J.W. Logston. He is one of the 3 defense attorneys that have been representing Mr. Kohberger in the Idaho 4 case. And as just an additional notation here, Professor Cover is a law professor at the University of Idaho. This was disclosed in the defense's motion to have her accepted as one of 2 expert witnesses to appear at the November 7th oral argument hearing on the defense's various motions to strike the death penalty. And just procedurally, what is a motion as what the defense filed in this case? The defense filed a motion to authorize Professor Cover to appear at the hearing on November 7th, 2024 as an expert, not a fact witness, not that she saw, she heard, she knows something for a fact, but as an expert applying skills, knowledge, and experience to this case. But before she can appear before the court as an expert, she needs to be qualified as an expert witness. What the state did in its response, and you can read it, it is dated October 9th, 2024. We went over it in a prior episode of the Indie Zone. They have alleged that she is not capable. She's not qualified to be an expert witness in the case, and this is what resulted in the reply brief filed by Mr. Logston. So now that the reply has been filed, for all intents and purposes, the pleadings, the motion is now closed. There's no additional filings that should be allowed, absent some sort of compelling interest or some reason. And we now await the court's ruling as to whether or not Professor Cover will be permitted to testify at hearing as an expert. This will now conclude this episode of the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. Thank you as always for joining us here today.